Does Giannis' injury validate LeBron's concern over NBA schedule?
His concern was validated before Giannis' injury, right? Giannis' injury was not a direct correlation to what LeBron was bringing up. What LeBron was bringing up was obviously talking about fatigue, talking about excess exertion. He was talking about non-contact injuries, which I will get to because LeBron James was correct. But Giannis' injury, because it was in fact a injury and a knee injury at that, it just reminded me like, wait a second,
Wait a minute.
What's really going on with the NBA this year? What's really going on with the playoffs this year?
What's going on?
What's really going on with our superstars this year?
Tell me, Acho.
You always lead with the headline. That's what they say.
Well,
you
damn.
lead with the headline.
Can you hurry up?
I'm
We
not
2
gonna
minutes
bury
in.
the lead. I'm not going to bury the lead.
What the headline?
So the headline is this.
What?
LeBron James was right about his stance on injuries because it is not volume that hurts an individual. It's not intensity that hurts an individual. It is volume and intensity too quickly. I want to talk about two knee injuries because we just saw Giannis's. Kawhi Leonard's was non-contact. Jamal Murray's was non-contact. Kawhi Leonard, a knee sprain. We don't know the severity
What do you mean non-contact? He got bumped.
Right knee, non-contact.
Hold on, it bumped your body, but go ahead. I'm not going to interrupt your take, but your take already started.
I literally rewatched it.
What do you mean literally? He didn't get bumped?
Kawhi Leonard's knee injury was non-contact.
I don't know what you call contact.
Okay, then it wasn't major contact. Can we at least agree on that?
I agree on the truth. Yeah, that's the truth.
Thank you. It was the Kawhi Leonard injury, non-major contact. Jamal Murray's injury, non-contact.
Only major one is you. I'm on one today. We play tonight.
We 3 minutes into the show.
Oh, hey, we ain't got your headline yet. You want to go there?
I'm trying.
Okay,
I was
go
trying.
ahead.
I couldn't get a sentence out.
All right,
I couldn't get a sentence out.
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna get back to that because you done messed up. I'm trying to land a plane. You done messed up the whole plane's landing. The fact of the matter is, when I look at it, superstars are gone. You got the 4 teams that went to the conference finals last year. They were the 4 seed, the Nuggets, the 7 seed, the Lakers. Then on the flip side, the 5 and the 6 seed, or the 5 and the 7 seed, and the Heat and the Celtics. Now the 4 teams in the conference finals, 2 of which didn't even make the playoffs last year. I think that the NBA, because of the injuries, because of the shortened season, it is much more dilute.
Come on, man. Damn, Acho. People been telling me they loving our show. People say we go so deep and we keep it so real that other shows over there tap dancing compared to us. And I said, I don't want to compare, I want to prepare. But damn it, you ain't prepared. LeBron is not talking in truth and reality. You know what I'm going to say? Let me start with my headline. I think LeBron actually didn't look at this situation properly. The headline is this: these players didn't take advantage of the excess time that they were given. Let's go by dates so we don't even get into the rhetoric and conjecture. These dudes weren't taking care of themselves. Don't give me all this contact, major, minor contact, excess. Let's talk about what happened this year. The NBA started on what day? December 22nd. Check. When did the NBA end? Last year. March 11th. Check. When did they resume for the bubble? July 7th. March 11th to July 7th, nearly 4 months after the shutdown, they sent every team except 8 to the bubble. Okay, so you already got 4 months. Now, every team didn't even go to the bubble. So there are 8 teams that have from March 11th to December 22nd to just work out. Oh, but now we're going to talk about this excess. So already we're talking about 25% of the league not even in this conversation. So let's talk about the other 75%. There was a minimum of 6 weeks you had to spend in the bubble. And some of them spent the minimum because they got bounced out. So now we're starting to see team after team have not only 4 months before the bubble, but I was only there for 6 weeks. And then after July 7th, I got to December 22nd. And then on December 22nd, I ain't even got to play 82 games. I got to play 72. People not looking at this properly. I'm sorry, LeBron, I got to call you out because you got the headline. They had more time. They had excess time. And you know what they say about anybody: when you want something done, give them a deadline. You want something done, give it to a busy person. You gave these athletes too much runway. You gave these athletes too much time. And that, if you want to go there, is what's happening. These guys didn't take care of themselves because the time is not the issue. The rush schedule is not the issue. And the shortened season certainly can't be the issue. Fact is, these dudes weren't being professional.
So I think it is the issue. It depends on how you slice it.
Stop.
It depends on how you dice it. But I got the evidence because you know me. I'm the type of man that comes to work with receipts.
I got you.
Look at the two players I bring up in question, Jamal Murray, Kawhi Leonard, the two players in question.
Okay.
Look at how much excess they played from, you talked about that bubble period. They went to the bubble, and the bubble really started July 30th, to their time of injury. Jamal Murray gets hurt April 12th. Kawhi Leonard from July 30th, time the bubble started last year, to their time of injury. Kawhi Leonard's was June 14th. We'll look at it from 2019 to 2020. Then we'll look at it from 2020 to 2021.
Let's do it.
Now, it's incredibly intriguing that you see Jamal Murray played 41% more minutes from the same period of July 30th to April 12th when he tore his ACL. Kawhi Leonard played 78% more minutes from July 30th to when he injured his knee as the year prior. So, again, it comes down to volume and intensity are what are hurting people. Yes, there was a longer break in 2020 offseason, but the fact of the matter is, those two athletes who suffered major knee injuries had to play significantly more time than they played the year before. You can't deny the evidence that says, hey, big dog, they had to play more time. I would rather, typical NBA season.
Let's go.
You play for 8 months, 4-month off season, you play for 8 months. Simple. The NBA, what we saw recent, you played for 6 months. 5-month off season. Now you pick back up. You play for 2 months, 1 month break. Now you play for another 9 months. I'd rather get a longer break, my typical 8-4, 8-4, 8-4, 8-4, than all of a sudden have to come out there and play excessive games in a shortened period of time. It's going to lead to somebody getting hurt.
What do you mean excessive games? This is so evidence-based that I'm not even giving you my opinion yet. I'm just like, these dudes lying. They lying. If I was a strength and conditioning coach, if I was one of these workout gurus out there, if I was Chris Brickley or some of them dudes, I'd be like, damn, they've been here for a long time. Because these dudes didn't have to go play as much as they do in the normal offseason. They had much more time.
What time are we looking at?
I'm looking at this. It stopped March 11th. The bubble started July 7th. You talking about July 30th.
Yes, when the games kicked off. Yes, sir.
Yes. Which is going to help my point. Not everybody got there July 7th, but the bubble started July 7th. Then you got to do your quarantine, whatever you showed up, you showed up. July 30th. You know that 6 teams left on August 17th? So wait a minute. 8 teams didn't even go to the bubble. Then 6 teams were gone in 2.5 weeks?
Yes, sir.
So talk to me, Acho. March 11th to December 22nd, and all you had to do was work 2.5 weeks. We talking about 14 teams. 46% of the league didn't even have to work but for 2.5 weeks. For how many months is that? 9? Shut up, dog. That is not the reason they hurt. The reason they hurt is because you're playing a sport and people get hurt.
I'm talking about the injured players.
Okay,
well, I'm not going to talk to you about the players that weren't in the bubble. Well, I'm talking about the injured players.
But they were on those teams. 14, half the league.
What I'm talking, but who got hurt? When we're talking about who's gotten hurt, Jamal Murray's gotten hurt.
Giannis got hyperextension.
AD got hurt.
Yeah.
LeBron James has dealt with injuries.
Contact. Last night, we are talking about this because of last night.
Yes.
Was that a fatigue issue?
No.
But that was a dude.
Which is what I preface with.
Okay.
I preface with Giannis's injury is not a direct correlation to what LeBron James is speaking about. But Giannis's injury does bring back to light the fact that stars are getting hurt. So now that it's bringing back to light the stars are getting hurt, I'm trying to look at why stars are getting hurt. But even still, if we wanted to, my premise is, even if we removed it from a sports conversation, it is much harder on the body to even just change a workout. You know this. Why does your strength coach, you've changed your workouts the last year since I met you, you've got your body down in tip-top shape, look like you're back in playing shape. What do you want to do if you want to make your body change? You change your workout to shock your body.
Yeah.
Changing a workout, quite literally, you know based on your kinesiology studies, I know based off my kinesiology studies, changing a workout literally is what you want to do to shock your body. When you are used to playing for 8 months and being off for 4 months, playing for 8 months and being off for 4 months, and you and I both know that changing the structure of a workout, changing repetitions and changing work, shocks the body. They literally changed the structure of how they worked out, and it shocked the body. But if we don't want to look at athletes, then you would have to say that what I'm about to tell you is a sheer coincidence.
Let's hear it.
2002 was the last time that teams that did not make the conference finals, that teams that did not make the playoffs last year, 2 teams both made the conference finals. 2002, the last time that teams that did not make the playoffs appeared in the conference finals, being the Phoenix Suns, Atlanta Hawks this year.
Right.
Also, this is the first time that 4 teams that were in the conference finals, which was last year, the Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, were seeded this low. So either the difference in the bubble and the changing of the schedule actually played a detriment to the teams that had to play there the longest, i.e. the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, the Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Lakers, or they just all got sorry. And then also either the teams like the Phoenix Suns and the Atlanta Hawks just got really good, better than everybody in the league sans 2 other teams, or the fact that they weren't in the bubble for an elongated period or at all, Atlanta Hawks, played a difference in how healthy they've been and thus how successful they've been. It's got to be one or the other.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Look, you could talk about emerging teams. Cleveland Browns just all of a sudden, boom. We're going to blame COVID. We're going to blame last year. We're going to blame the conditions. You could be a thinly constructed team like, we surged, and now we're coming down the hill. We already reached our apex. It could be just a weird year. But I'm going to go with what Shaq went with. And Shaq wasn't talking about Giannis in particular, but Shaq was like, please, y'all want to talk about how we used to play the game and how we didn't get injured to this rate? I'm not going to use a myopic viewpoint and talk about the stars and then try to now exaggerate that to the masses. That's what's happening. LeBron did it. You can't use a myopic celebrity viewpoint, which is, since it's happening up here, it's happening everywhere. That's what happens when people move to L.A. They land here. Everyone has plastic surgery. Everyone has a Mercedes. Everyone is Hollywood. No, you just stuck right here in this little lane. Look at it all in totality. Injury rate, league data shows the player injury rate this season is down about 6%. Oh, LeBron, I love you so much, but don't say this, big dog. Look, a statistical variance I could give you respect for, up, down, 0.3%, as some were saying. But this down 6%, these dudes have more time than ever. I understand what you're saying about shock in the body, but this is no shock. You have too much runway, too much calendar for you to be shocked. If someone walked up to me and said, I'm playing in the NBA, and our normal offseason is late April, May, and then it starts up in September, October. But then they say, no, next year, you got from March to December for half the league. And the other half of the league, you got to work 6 weeks. Man, what are you talking about? That is Gucci. I almost feel like I'm a red shirt because I'm going to have so much time to work on my body. There were contact injuries. The non-contact injuries, chalk it up because in years past, we didn't blame COVID. We didn't blame a compromised season. And LeBron, they told you guys before the season, it would cost roughly $500 million in revenue after last season's shortfall of $1.5 billion. And them players signed on the dotted line. Don't give me excuses now, big dog. Y'all should have worked out.